Finally, President Trump is known for his non-traditional approach to diplomacy. That could be why other countries are posting non-traditional ambassadors in Washington. Our State Department reporter Kylie Atwood introduces us to one ambassador, the Czech Republic's Hynek Kmonicek.
When Ambassador Kmonicek of the Czech Republic presented his credentials to President Trump last year, he came with a strong man's approach to diplomacy.
Hey, Ambassador. Welcome.
He has served around the world in countries like Sudan and India, where hunting helped him coerce his counterparts.
Are you a real man?
They were testing you.
Or just another European? So sometimes you have to prove yourself.
Right.
Sometimes the poor animal will be the victim.
The Czech Republic figured Kmonicek could handle the Trump administration.
With my previous diplomatic experience, it was clear it's very hard to surprise me.
Mm-hmm. And Trump is known for the shock factor.
Well, the President Trump obviously announced that he intentionally wants to be unpredictable. Mm-hmm. And I understand that for some bureaucrats, it could be a tough thing because diplomats love predictability.
With more than 170 embassies in Washington, it's a town crawling with diplomats. Kmonicek is not the only one who was handpicked to deal with Trump. The new ambassador to Japan has negotiated with North Koreans for more than 20 years. The new ambassador to Russia was a former military officer. Still, Kmonicek's killer instinct remains unique.
In so many of the countries that you have served in a diplomatic role, you've killed animals.
Well, usually,
Why?
Usually for the diplomatic purpose or on mistake.
I am not a professional.
I am not a professional killer, and I am not even the passionate hunter. What is the diplomatic reason? Okay.
Yeah.
If you negotiate, let's say in Sudan, you want to prove you are a macho, even if you are my size. So.
You were a little bit smaller than your counterparts in Sudan.
Well, definitely, because they are like 2 meters.
But you want to prove to them that you could be as strong as they were.
Yeah, that you don't need to be 2.5 meters Sudanese to fight a small crocodile. And of course,
the ambassador has yet to fight any animals in the U.S., but with the Trump sons being big-time hunters, he'd pick up a rifle if he got the invite.
Okay, Kylie Atwood is in our Washington bureau. Kylie, I can honestly say I've never quite seen an ambassador like that. Well, tell us a little bit about the other animals the ambassador had at his house and the stories that he told you.
Yes, it was pretty incredible, honestly, a little bit surreal walking around that residence because, truth be told, I've been to the residences of other ambassadors here in Washington, and they're filled with, fancy art or historical photographs, not with dead animals all over the walls, but he also has a kangaroo from Australia. You saw in there he had an alligator from Sudan. He also has a wolf from Mongolia. He has a very, very long snake from India, and he told me stories to go along with all of those. That snake from India, he actually pulled it out of the sewage system that was close to his home in India, and he took a machete and chopped its head off. And he said that when he pulled it out, he had no idea how long it was going to be. It ended up being about 10 feet long and very wide. And he tells younger diplomats that story because he tells them that sometimes in diplomacy, you need to take chances, even when you don't know what the result's going to be. And he says that courage is a very important part of being a diplomat. Obviously, he shows off that he has courage by killing all these animals.
Interesting way to get that message across. Well, what is the more traditional background for an ambassador sent to the United States, Kylie?
Right. So ambassadors here traditionally have extensive diplomatic experience. Perhaps they've been an ambassador to another country for their home country. Perhaps they've been in the foreign ministry in their home country or served here in the U.S. maybe at a lower role, so they really understand the relationship between the United States and their home country. They also are known for having really close relations with the leadership in their home country. So that's still true today, even though they're, some strong men ambassadors like Ambassador Kmonicek, the Saudi ambassador to the U.S. He is a new ambassador here. He is actually the brother of the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. And also the same goes for the new South Korean ambassador to the U.S. He's served and worked alongside the President Moon in South Korea. And so they really understand what the leadership in their country wants. And therefore, they're trusted here in Washington to deliver messages appropriately to and from the United States and their home country.
Well, non-traditional is certainly the word for it all. Kylie Atwood, thanks so much, Kylie.
Thanks.